together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we get way too large of an NBA card, and then we get some hockey as well. So we're not going to waste too much time here. Quick little recap of yesterday. Get up yesterday. Oh, another bad day. After like a week, or not a week, it was like 5 straight winning days. I've now had 3 straight losing days. It's annoying, but it is what it is. College basketball is a little bit of a struggle. Northwestern minus 15. They win by 9. North Carolina A&T, the Aggies, they cover the plus 15 against the Colonials of George Washington. Or Revolutionaries. Wow, they switched their name. I just realized that. The Revolutionaries of George Washington. The Tarleton State Texans do not cover 18.5 point dogs. Florida State wins by 20. The Sycamores of Indiana State lose outright as 7.5 point favorites. Loss of the Spartans of Norfolk State at plus 105. They lose by 11 to William and Mary, the pride there. Then we have the Prairie View A&M Panthers. They did cover as 9.5 point dogs against Incarnate Word. Those Cardinals, they won by 3. Bradley. The Braves covered the 12 in that one there against UTSA. The Rams of Little Rock come up a little. They're Trojans. I think they switched their name.
No,
that
was the Trojans.
What am I thinking of? The VCU, I think it was. Okay. They lost to Arkansas State by 17 points. They barely don't cover the 15 there. Moving on, the San Diego Toreros. They end up losing there as plus 110 dogs to Portland State. We got Hawaii that was last night. That was last night. Okay. That was the midnight game, and it just counted it on this late one there.
Mm-hmm.
And the NBA, what did I do in the NBA? I'm trying to find my plays. I had Dallas plus 3, which was a push. Did I only have Dallas plus 3 yesterday? That doesn't sound right. I feel like I had more than just Dallas plus 3, but I only see Dallas on my bet stamp. That's weird. I thought I had more than just Dallas, but maybe I didn't. But I could have sworn I did. So yeah, that's because I did. I had Miami team total under 107.5, and of course overtime in that game. It took overtime to kill that, so that was frustrating there. And I believe that was it though in the NBA. Just the 2 plays for me, and then hockey was kind of a mixed bag. I'm trying to get up there. Toronto, they lose 3-0. That was a poor play there. And then we had the Devils, which won. I ended up adding the over 6.5 because it was the team up first shutout loss, and it finished 4-1. So that was annoying. The Blues lose as plus 145 dogs. They led 2-0 in that game, and then 3 third period goals for the Boston Bruins killed that. And then split out on the Canucks, first period puck line and full game puck line. Lost the first period because they were down 1-0 at the end of the first, and then they won the full game 3-1. So overall, down 3.6 units yesterday. Not a good day. Bounce back day today.
There you go. You kind of went over most of the stuff, but start from the top, I guess. Providence was a loser. Norfolk State was a loser. Indiana State was a loser. Lafayette winner. Didn't North Carolina A&T win outright?
No.
Oh, darn. They were winning late. Tarleton State loser. Northwestern loser.
They lost by 5.
North Florida winner. Rider winner. Yeah, the over in the Toledo game didn't get there. I figured Central Michigan would put up a little bit more. They did not. Rangers puck line loser. Toronto puck line, loser. Over in the Celtics game, easy. If anybody, I remember hearing in the chat yesterday that there's no way the Celtics lose because no Trae Young, and Hawks won outright. I didn't bet it. I wish I did. If I knew, if I should have picked up on and said, "Oh, Trae Young out," should have grabbed them too. But it is what it is. Instead, we got Joel. We got the next game with Joel Embiid. It's looking like himself again, as the New York Knicks blow out those sorry-ass Sixers and cover the spread on that one. Definitely happy I took them. What was this? What ended up being the final score of that one? It ended up being 111-99. So happy that. And then the rest of the NBA night kind of got bad. But Little Rock loser, Bradley winner, Prairie View winner. Blues, I guess they blew it late.
Yeah, they were up 2 heading into the third.
Raptors loser, San Diego loser, Dallas loser. But my biggest cash for the day, Nick, and the reason why I was only down, what did I send you? I think it's actually, I was 1-3 in the NHL, and I was only down 0.35, not 4.5 units.
3.5?
3.5, because Devils plus 265. So I went 1-3 and still almost broke even. So it is what it is, and we move on.
There you go. Head over to the chat. I'm going to be typing in the updated records. And which reminds me, let's quickly go over that before we get into the chat for the records of the ESP leaderboards. And let's get into it. We have Cannon giving people a little bit more of a chance after last night. He lost 0.57 units. He went 9-9, so a down day there for Cannon. Stop Geo finds himself in second place now, 5-3, up 1.72 units. Everyone else is still negative. Markel down 0.58 units. Lex Steele came in with some plays yesterday, went 2-4 on those, down 1.90 units. Nathan Cerna, 3-6, down 3.94 units. Bailey still 3-8. I haven't seen Bailey in a hot minute. Fernando Mendoza is 5-8, down 5.07 units. Untouchable, 13-45, but only down 13.4 units. Every single one of his plays have been plus money. Mr. Numbers, 18-24, but down 19.97 units. He had an ugly loser last night there with the Leafs plus 2.5 at minus 650. I need to get a clip of, I think they referenced it a couple shows ago, of Nelson going, ha ha. It's like big minus number losers. We need that clip for that.
Yes.
Drewski, 27-47, down 24.53 units. Robert, 141-236, down 67.78 units. Yikes. NBA, Cannon still your leader at 16-13, up 2.09 units. Stop Geo right behind him, 2-2, up 0.62 units. And then everybody else in the negatives. There. NHL, Cannon, your leader there, 17-12-1. Up 8.06 units. Markel 2-1 at 1.42 units. Drewski 5-4, up 1.15 units there in the NHL. In college basketball, your leader is still Cannon at 3-1, up 3.67 units. Stop Geo 1-0, up 1 unit there. And that NFL still the same from the day before because we didn't have any NFL last night. Cannon with yet another winner in college football. I had the same play there, the over in that Ball State game. He's now 25-5, up 20.66 units. That's one, by the way, that's one play I forgot to recap. Ball State and Buffalo over 50, end up being 54.5. There was 52 points in the first half. The game ended up finishing 45-45. Actually, no, it was 45-45 heading into overtime, I believe.
51-48.
51-48, the final score there. Lex Steele 2-0, up 2.10 units. So good start for him. He had, I believe, Western Michigan under and Toledo over team totals. And then everybody else negative there and that. So those are your current standings. We'll have Tim head over to the chat and we'll go from there.
What up, my guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button, people. Show some appreciation. Subscribe and share. You know the Tim, you know the rest of the same, my dog. We got a nice size NBA card. Yeah. Let's go find some value. Let's do it. World Warriors, I said that money line first quarter, first half trifecta. They cashed. In my Twins voice, Golden State never in doubt. Bucks 2. I said it lay with the Bucks, and they came through. Yeah, good job. I know I lost both of those plays. And it's frustrating because we can never cash a package anymore, but it is what it is. Portland plus 10 and the over 219. Good Warrior over. Good Bucks. And under, good all day. MYK and under, good. Phoenix and the over, good. Orlando and the under, good. Pistons money line, good. The under Pistons would have went good, but it went to OT. Damn.
Yeah.
Also, thanks, Nick. I remember last season when a player would be out, you'd take the team plus. They can normally cash leading Boston minus. Then I thought about it, took Atlanta plus 17.
Yeah, that's ultimately what kept me off the kept me off the Celtics last night because I was leaning in that direction, but with Trae Young being out, I didn't want to fade them without Trae Young.
And they won outright. Yeah, they won outright. Crazy. New day, though. Let's regroup. Put our thinking caps on. Let's do it. Maple Queefs. Yeah, they did not do it. How about my late night 10-unit bomb Canucks money line play? It was genius bailout play.
I mean, if you bet 10 units on the game, okay.
How great of a feeling is it when you're on monkey tilt and hit a big late night play to turn a negative into a positive?
I mean, what you bet is what you bet, so I guess it's whatever.
Wolves are a joke, as I've said. Leafs are a joke, as always, and Rangers are frauds. They kind of are. And whatever. Supness. I heard 446 goes into Costco for lunch and eats all the free samples. Makes sense. I think he's pretty poor.
Yeah.
So, makes sense. Morning, gentlemen. Morning. Never been to Costco in my life. Yeah, sure. You live in New York. Come on, you've been to Costco. Minnesota Wolf Pups are a joke. Overvalued because they beat Joker in the playoffs. Lost a plus 700 teamer because of them. Yep. Should go. Good deals. Okay. Blues game was very frustrating. They were cruising, and then they did the Islanders special, and they lose in OT instead.
They almost did the Islander special.
Almost. Okay.
Yeah. How predictable was that with that Islander game last night? They lost in overtime.
Yeah. Islanders. Shame. Boston won by 1. The -1.5 puck line. Earle fade didn't work. All the way.
Yeah. By the way, if you've bet the draw in every single Islanders game this year, and let's assume that the draw is plus 300 in every game, which it's not. Sometimes it's 350, sometimes it's 400, like it was last night. You'd be up 12 units.
That's
21-9.
That's crazy.
Or 7-9.
No, I got what you mean. Shame on the Mavericks. JK Curry happened.
Yeah, I was lucky to get the push in that for that plus 3.
I had their money line, so I didn't. Ottawa was sweat free.
Yeah, I was on the wrong side on that game. It happens.
Me too. Why were the Penguins fave? That means they must win.
Yeah, it's not a game I'm gonna like. I never want the Penguins this year. Never want the Penguins this year. But I'm not going to be betting against them today. I'll promise you that. I don't want to fade the Penguins off of a 7-1 loss. And at the very least, I know this sounds great. I never want the Penguins. I lean Penguins first period in that game. That would be the way I would approach that one.
There you go. Nick, I'll let you handle this.
Now, see, this chart's a fraud because I hit a 10. We don't do 10-unit plays. It fucks with the integrity of the contest. Every play is 1 unit. No exceptions. No, I want 10 units on. No, because then we're going to have, another person's going to want 20 units on their play, and I want 100 units on their play, and all of a sudden people are 3-0 with up 350 units because they put 100-unit plays. No, we don't do multi-unit plays. If you want multiple units on a singular play, give me a puck line, give me a money line. Give me a money line and a team total over. Give me a full game over, team total over, whatever. If you want multiple units on a play, they have to be separate plays. If you want multiple units on a specific spot or a specific game, you have to have different plays. Every play is 1 unit I don't care who you are. I don't care if you say 10 unit, 20 unit, 50 unit, 100 unit, million unit. It's not how the contest works. We're making it so it's fair for everybody. So every single play, if it's a minus number, minus 110, minus 150, minus 200, it is, let's say minus 200, there's 2 units to win 1. If it's plus money, plus 110, plus 150, plus 200. If it's plus 200, 1 unit to win 2. That's the way it's always going to be. No exceptions. Thank you for calling to my TED Talk.
Okay. Hopefully the Twins get Alec Bohm. You know what would be hilarious?
The Twins are not going to go and get anybody because they're not going to be spending any money.
Do you want to would be hilarious with Alec Bohm?
What?
If he went to New York.
No, he's not going to be a Met.
No, I'm joking. No. The Mets have no use for him.
No, because is he the shortstop, third baseman?
Third base.
Yeah, because the Mets have Vientos, and if
they already put out an offer for Adames.
No, they have. I highly doubt they have because
they did.
I know it's rumors. I highly doubt they did though because I don't think you would offer a contract to Adames before Soto signs.
That's not entirely true.
Soto's got to be your number 1.
That's not entirely true. My guys, I hit a 5-teamer payout. It's $360. There you go. Bucks tonight. Thanks, Tim. You said good job to me, finally. Yeah, I know. It cost me some money, but whatever. Ohio football, highest scoring half. First half, minus 120 DraftKings.
Okay.
Hello? How about my boy Clay? I put 10 unit bomb in chat before the game started. Should count.
No, and I think you saw it later, and I think you mentioned it later. No, that's not how things work. I don't care if you say 10 units.
Not gonna lie, I sprinkled 0.25 units when they went up 1 in the third, just cause. Who? All right. Islander draw. What up, Markel? You on the Fakers tonight? Hell yeah, let's get it today. Let's do it. Feeling weird. Feeling Capitals and over, especially since the wilted leaf got blanked. You already know minus 10. Yeah. All I can is wow after that Earle rant.
I'm putting my foot down. I'm not gonna tolerate bullshit for a contest that's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun.
For real.
And people want to throw 10 unit plays out there and lay minus 800. It pisses me off.
Does a mixed parlay go into the overall record or singular respective sports?
I would usually, if it's a parlay, I think the way I do it is the biggest favorite of that parlay. I'll throw it into that one. But really, I could use miscellaneous as a thing as well.
There you go. Getting close. My Blues left me. Yeah. I was nervous because Joel came back, but I still rode with New York Knicks. That was the whole reason why I bet the Knicks. Let's jump into the NBA, Nick.
Yeah, let's get into it. Here we have. Good. We didn't click that. Let's get the background in here. It's been a rough NBA season, but I mean, for me, it's just been I started off slow, and then it's just been like splitting out 2-2 nights and 1-1 nights and stuff like that. So we'll see. Let's get into this one here. We have the Indiana Pacers taking on the Orlando Magic. Pacers 1.5 point road favors, total 224 in this game. As I'm getting up the line history here, let's get up the cash flow. I need to start just doing that before the show starts. Is setting it up for NBA because we always start with NBA. But we have the Orlando Magic and the Indiana Pacers. The Magic come into this game 6-6 on the year. They're 5-7 ATS, 6-6 over under. They are definitely a predictable team. If you that, which is our favorite types of teams when it comes to sports betting. They're 5-0 at home this year at Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. They're 1-6 on the road. So it's been pretty simple. You back the Magic at home, you fade them on the road. The Pacers are 5-5. They're 6-4 ATS. They are 7-3 over under. They're 2-4 on the road. So Let's take a look at the cash flow or the line history in this one here. We'll start with the cash flow because we don't have the line history. 39% of the tickets and 48% of the cash is on the Magic. So sharper money coming in on the Magic, 44 and 76 on the money line as well. 88% of tickets, 84% of cash is on the over here as well. Let's see if the line's moving towards the Magic, because if it is, I'm very, very interested in Orlando, which it opened up at a pick. I'm gonna get up the money line in here a second here because it really just opened up at a pick and it's not really done. It got up to a 2.5, but it's down to a pick. Line opened up 228, it's down to a 224. So another game where the totals are dropping. There. Let's take a look at what the money line opened up at. It opened up at a plus 110, and now it's minus 108. So we do have a move towards the Orlando Magic here in this spot. And I would like to get my card started here with the Magic in this game. I'm gonna shop around, try to find the best available number, but I'm gonna be on the Orlando Magic here.
Yeah, no, I took the over. This is a spot where the Pacers have been playing a lot faster as of late. And when it comes to it, I expect them to continue to play at a higher tempo. Yes, the Magic have been a little bit more of an under team as of late, but I do believe that this is going to be more of an over game. I believe it's dropped since last night, though, so that's kind of annoying. What was it last night? When I did my video, it was at 227.5, so that's kind of concerning. But it is what it is. I'm still going to grab the over 224 here because I actually didn't bet any of them last night. I forgot to bet them, so I got it at 224 this morning. So got the better line. I still think this one's an over.
Fair. I got even money Orlando Magic here for me.
There you go. So the Mets going to pay $700 million for Soto to get walks because he will never be pitched to in that weak Mets lineup. Who hits behind him?
You know what I found really ironic? The Mets lineup was better than the Yankees this year. Like when you look at what the potential lineup for the New York Mets will be next year, it's better than anything the Yankees threw out this year. And that's even. I mean, yeah, he might get pitched. He might have gotten pitched a little bit more too with Judge in the lineup. But when the games mattered more, they walked him to pitch to Judge. So, and I would like. I kind of want to start a separate thing, like a separate channel, just to do like sports talk without betting. And I wanted to do one of my first videos for that would have been a free agent prediction video. And my prediction for this is Juan Soto, the Met, 14 years, $630 million.
We could still do like a free agent video for ESB.
We could do that as well, yeah.
We could plan that out. Maybe we do that tonight.
Yeah, maybe.
But there's going to be plenty of pieces in that Mets lineup that
and even then, you're just generating more base runners. I don't hate generating more base runners.
I mean, I don't mind having Mark Vientos up with the first and second after Lindor gets on too.
Yeah.
So, Judge made Soto. Okay, yeah. But Judge also walked a lot too. They just walked those two guys and get to the crap Yankee hitters. So,
yep.
Magic. Pass on Indy. Game too close to call. Orlando Magic. Maybe over Orlando game. No, I like the under. Over. Yes, over in the Orlando game. I was looking at a different game when I said under. Who said my Heat Pistons over 212?
Congratulations, you needed overtime.
Good call. 224. Too low for the Pacers. Over. Way to copy my play. Capitals money line, though I know we're on NBA. And Magic -1 on the hardwood. Tim, how do I use your Costco discount? Come to my store, and when you check out, I'll scan my card. But to be fair, I don't get a discount. With the membership cards, you get cash back at the end of the year based on how much you spend. So I don't get a discount there at the register. But There's no way Soto is going to the Mets for 360. Someone will offer more.
I
That's
don't
why
know.
I think 14,700.
I think the max you're going to see him get is 660. I think the only way you see 700 million for him is if it's a 15-year deal. Like if it's even more. I think it's 14 years and anywhere in the ballpark of 630 to 670 million dollars.
Yep. I could see that. Past Magic game.
You also got to keep in mind he's also in his prime. Like this is the youngest, and a 14-year contract for him would lead him up to his year 40 season, his age 40 season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's going to get paid a decent amount. I don't think 700 million is the amount though. I think it's in the 600s, which is still crazy.
Yeah. You get the $1.50 hot dog. It's $1.62 after tax. Let's jump to the next game.
Oh, that was good. Sorry. We have the Boston Celtics. They're on the road against the Brooklyn Nets. Total of 218.5 in this game. I feel like this play is kind of obvious for someone looking for a play here. This line opened up at an 8.5. It's still an 8.5. It's bounced between 8.5 and 9. Line opened up 218.5. It's down to 217.5. So we have a line move towards the under in this game here. I'm kind of interested to see what the okay, not as crazy as I thought it would be. 59% of tickets, 56% of the cash is on the Celtics. The line's not moving, but it's bounced back and forth between 8.5 and 9. 94% of tickets, 95% cash on the over in this game here. Let's take a look at the matchup here in this one. We have the Brooklyn Nets, who have been a scrappy team. They're 5-6 straight up, but they're 9-2 against the number. 5-6 over under. They're 3-2 at home. Boston's 9-3 now this year. 6-6 ATS, 6-1 on the road, 5-6 over under. Now they have that. This will be their third game after a loss. They've won both the games after a loss. They haven't lost multiple games in a row this season, but they're 1-1 ATS after a loss. So just because they are off a loss does not mean they'll cover a number. I do think that this is a double-digit win probably for them now. So I would only look towards the Boston Celtics in this game. I kind of want to see this be more nines. I want them to at least show me some respect for this Celtic money. And we're starting to see some nines pop up, but I've seen 8 on Caesars. So I lean Celtics in this game if I'm betting anything in this spot.
I understand that. I just don't feel the need to want to bet this one. And when it comes to it, it's not really. Yes, you have the Celtics coming off the loss, but do you want to lay 8.5 points with them on the road? I don't know about you. I don't like to lay 8.5 points, period, let alone on the road. So I'm not going to touch this game. I would not blame anybody. Plus, you got to look at it this way. 8.5 point dog. Brooklyn, 9-2 against the spread this year.
Okay.
So they've been a very good spread team. But I'm not going to jump in front of the Celtics after they lost as a 16-point favorite. So I do not feel the need to go after this game. This one's a pass for me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to take in the first game, I think they covered the first half. And they definitely won the first quarter, but then Charlotte made it a 6-point game at halftime, and it was a 10.5 point spread. So I think they may have covered the first half. They may have pushed the first half against Charlotte, but they dominated the first quarter. It was not that against Brooklyn in their second game after a loss, where they lost the first quarter against Brooklyn. If I want to approach this game, I kind of want to lay the points with Boston maybe in the first half of the first quarter, expecting them to be ready to go right off the rip. Brooklyn didn't play last night, right? They didn't. They had a day off, so they could be a little bit. They can have a little bit more later in the game, and the time to target this Boston Celtics team would be first quarter and first half. Would be my lean for it. Actually, the more I look at it,
that's fine. I'm just not gonna bother with it. Soto, a money chaser. Yes, for sure. I love the Costco pizza, but I get tired of it when I work there. Yeah. You have to switch back and forth from time to time. Played number 2, DeRozan over his Pra. There you go. Is Stev season NBA at one specific location? I don't know what you mean. Nets plus, lean under, but pass Nets. My prediction: Alonso, Giants, Soto, Dodgers, Yankee get a first baseman from Snakes. I forgot his name.
Christian Walker. I think I can see Alonso as a Giant. I think he heads up to the Pacific Northwest. I think he's a Mariner. Pete Alonso, something along the lines of 6 years, $150, $160 million. I think Soto's a Met. We already talked about that, though. I can see Christian Walker going to the Yankees. I can also see Pete Alonso as a Yankee. It's disgusting, but they need a first baseman. They've already contacted him, and they're definitely going to – I think if the Yankees truly want Pete Alonso, they'll offer him the most amount of money for him. And watch, the Mets steal Soto from the Yankees, and the Yankees steal Alonso from the Mets. Would that shock anybody?
If Soto leaves the Yankees, do they officially lose the Soto trade?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they didn't win the World Series with it.
Celtics team total over, or teams on traveling days? Oh, has that been working out? I think a little bit, but nothing crazy. Nets plus 9. Boston could bounce back after an embarrassing loss last night. They could. Back-to-back travel tournament. Yeah, there's a lot of back-to-back. Kyrie Irving, former teams, meh, no thanks. Celtics minus 3. Oh, yeah, I got to take the Nets plus 8.5, minus 110 revenge spot. Boston back-to-back. Nets are playing good. They found a good young coach. I could see it. I'm just not I'm not in the business of wanting to fade the Celtics after they lost.
Me neither. If I would be doing that, though, I'd be doing it in the first quarter and the first half. And the more and more I think about that, the more and more I would like to bet that.
Queens. Yes, I like Queens. Reverse Sabres Day tomorrow. Who are they against? The Blues? Sounds right. Honestly, it's probably it'll be a blue spot tomorrow because for practice today, the Sabres had no Tage Thompson, no Matthias Samuelsson, and no Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who all left the game with injuries on Monday because the Montreal Canadiens are dirty and like to hurt our players. So it's. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys should be able to win. You guys can thank the Canadians for that. Giants have to do something to compete with the Dodgers and Padres. They will offer more to Alonso because they're desperate.
Yeah, but we've seen this before with the San Francisco Giants. They're always trying to go after the big fish, and they don't land any of them. That's the problem. And this could be also the problem for my Mariners take on Alonso. Is how many hitters, power hitters specifically, want to go to Seattle? How many power hitters want to go to San Francisco? Like, when you think about it, a lot of these big power hitters and these big hitters don't want to go to these teams because the ballparks just don't allow them to put up the numbers there.
For real. But at the same time, it's people want money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the other teams are not going to offer as much as the Yankees or the Mets or the Dodgers, even though the Dodgers will pay you in about 20 years to people who bet on sports. So why does
he for sure bet on sports, by the way.
Why does Soto want to leave? Just money? He's a free agent in general. So if the Yankees offer him enough money, he'll sign with them, but
he's also a Boris client, so he's going to want the most amount of money, especially after the way Boris fucked up last offseason.
Soto is a fraud. Rob, no loyalty. He wants money. Boris client. Can I give a little bit
This
of
is his last contract, most likely.
Yeah. Could we be surprised if Juan Soto ended up in the nation's capital?
No. And here's another thing that I was kind of thinking of. What if Juan Soto in his deal had an opt-out after like 6 years? So heading into his age 32 season, he can opt out or something and retest the market.
He's not going to get more.
What if, I mean, he could. You never know. Just an interesting thought.
Sidney Crosby and Kobe Bryant are the last true athletes, not for fame and money, but the love of the game. That's why we love David Wright.
Yeah.
Loyalty. Everyone else just wants money and fame. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Sounds like a hockey player. It's a Finnish
Czech
goalie?
Czech.
Is he Czech?
I thought he was Czech.
Why don't you check?
Finnish.
Ha!
Okay. Who am I thinking Czech?
I don't know. Everyone that beats the Blues can't thank Marner for injuring Broberg. We've been garbage since he's been out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Fantastic to be here. Notes taken. Thanks, of course. But I'm a homer and like paying on my Blues and unusual. He will opt out. I heard that yesterday will be part of his contract.
Wouldn't shock me.
Let's keep rolling.
Yeah. We have the New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls. The Knicks are 8-point favorites, total of 229.5 in this one. Here, let's take a look at the line history in this one, where it opened up at a 10, immediately went down to a 9, and now it's an 8.5, and now it's an 8. So we have a 2-point line movement here towards Chicago. Line opened up 231. It's now 231.5. So we have a half-point line movement towards the over here as well. 82% of tickets, 82% of cash is on the over. That makes sense. 62% of tickets, 67% of cash on the Chicago Bulls. And the line's moving towards them. That also makes sense. New York Knicks coming in on the second half of a back-to-back. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers last night, 111 to 99. On the flip side, we have the Bulls coming in off of a loss, but a cover. As 8-point dogs, they lose by 6 to the Cleveland Cavaliers, 119 to 113. The Bulls have kind of struggled as of late. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games. Their only win was a double-digit win against Atlanta. The Knicks have won 2 of their last 3 games now. Their only loss was that 11-point loss on the road against Indiana. They're 5-5 straight up in ATS and over/under. They're 2-1 at Madison Square Garden. So they've played a decent amount of road games this year. 7 of their 10 have been played on the road. They are in Madison Square Garden here. The Bulls are 4-7 straight up. They're 5-6 ATS. They're 6-5 over under. They're 3-3 on the road. At this number, I'm interested in the Bulls getting 8 points in this game. With the Knicks on a second half of a back-to-back, you're coming in off of a divisional win last night. Your next games are both at home on the 15th and the 17th against the Brooklyn Nets. So who do you think they care more about playing, the Brooklyn Nets coming up or the Chicago Bulls tonight, especially after beating the Sixers last night? So I want to see if I can get an 8.5 with the Bulls. I want to take a shot with Chicago here in this game.
I'm right there with you. I'm adding the Bulls to my card. And I think when I was betting stuff last night, the Knicks game was still going on, and I wanted to see how that ended.
Yeah.
Because a win would definitely put me on the Bulls here. On a second leg of a back-to-back, I'm getting 8.5. And when it comes to it, yes, I am high on this Knicks team. I have them to win the East, so I do think they're going to be a good team this year. At the same time, this is not a good spot, and to be a 8.5-point favorite, I don't feel like I would not feel comfortable with laying the points here. I'm on the Bulls. Knicks just in a bad spot.
Fair. Yeah, no, I'm on board there. I got plus 8.5 minus 115 on the ESPN bet. CapperTek gave me a 7. My bet at 8, just a flat 8, but I got 8.5 on ESPN bet as my actual bet for this game.
Click, and we're good. That's it. Do we have up to game time to post official play? Yes. And 1 unit each, as Nick mentioned. Thoughts on Akron team total over?
They play
NIU. Remember when NIU was thought of for like the college football playoff for a little bit?
You know what? think my number is kind of like NIU in that game, but I didn't move on it. I have one play in college football today, and it's ugly.
I can't wait for tomorrow's college football game. There's only one college football game tomorrow.
Take Tulsa plus the points.
Why?
I don't trust ECU laying 2 touchdowns on the road.
Go for that bowl game.
Yeah, they get the win, but I don't know if they cover.
KC is at 3.5.
I don't know where you're seeing KC at 3.5. I just saw it at 2.5. I'm waiting for that to hit 3, and I'll take Kansas City.
Why are they dogs?
They're dogs.
Okay, I got to make a bet with who do you call it then? Somebody at my work who's a big Chiefs guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to talk to him. No, I'll be on the Bills.
I have a feeling the Bills are going to turn into that play that is so sharp it turns public.
I hope not.
But I'll probably be on the Chiefs because the Chiefs cover as less than touchdown favorites. But when they're big favorites is when you fade them. When they're small favorites or dogs is when you back them.
The way that I view it, if I go, I'm not going to bet that on the book. I'll go and I'll bet it with Todd at work, and he'll give me even money on the Bills.
Oh, then that's a good way to do it. Yeah.
Lean next, but both teams suck. Feels like a letdown spot. Yep. Give me the Bulls. I'll tell that. I kind of like the Bulls money line. I won't hate that. Under 229.5. Knicks bench is horrendous. Warming up some pizza in the air fryer. Hell yeah. Tim's Bulls over or under, you think? I would lean probably towards an under in the Bulls game. But Bulls money line, sure. Tibbs is going to burn out his players before the playoffs, like the Nuggets started were burnt out because they have no bench. I don't know what Nuggets team you're watching now. The bench actually looks quite solid. So I really don't know what you're referencing. Yeah, I will say they're using the starters a little bit more. Let me look it up. Minutes per game, Jokic 38, which is about right. 35 for Murray, 36 for Porter, 35 for Braun, 30 for Gordon, and then they're using the bench a bunch. Westbrook's getting 24 a game. Strother's getting 21 a game. Watson's getting 23 a game. And then you got like Jordan getting 10, Tyson getting 12. No, I think I think they're doing just fine with their evening out players and bench and all that stuff.
You think it's a problem that it's playing 24 minutes a game though?
Westbrook.
It
was because he got more minutes when Murray was out.
Fair.
And he runs the second. He kind of runs the second unit when Murray's off the court.
That's fair.
And that's what you need.
I know you pay attention to that team more than I do, so that's why I was asking.
No, I think they're doing because Westbrook's actually been really solid. If anything, he kind of reminds me of Bruce Brown when the Nuggets won the championship. He was kind of that spark off the bench.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I like Westbrook like that.
Oh, I accidentally clicked.
You're good. -8. Yep. Do you guys go to those ECU basketball games anymore?
I haven't been to one yet this year.
Against no-name schools? Yeah, they played Mount Olive last night. No, I did not go to it. Meant to say 2 and a hook.
Yeah, I'll wait for that to get up to a 3, and I'll take Kansas City. And if it doesn't hit a 3, I'll take the money line.
Seton Hall.
Yep. Don't know.
I don't have it on my card, so I at least didn't bet it. Is Levine in? Should he?
Slightly in towards Seton Hall. We have him around 6.5, 7.
Levine day to day, so keep an eye out for that one. St. Bonaventure, yes, that's one of our plays today. Let's keep on rolling through the games, Nick, and yeesh.
Yeah, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. The Thunder are 14.5-point favorites with a total of 221 in this one here. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have this line open up at a 14. It's now 14.5. So we have a half-point line movement towards the OKC. Line open up 218. It's now 223.5. So we have a move towards the over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here. 56% of the tickets, 55% of the cash is on the Pelicans. in this game, getting all the points. The line's moved a half point towards the Thunder, though, with 44% of tickets and 45% of cash on the Thunder spread. 89% of tickets, 90% of cash on the over in this one as well. We have the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've kind of hit a little bit of a rough patch here recently. They did beat LA in their last game, but they lost 2 of 3 heading into that one there against Golden State and against Denver. They're 2-2 in their last 4 games, which I guess for OKC standards is not the greatest.
No.
But they've played some of the better teams in the West in Denver and Golden State. On the flip side, what could be said about this New Orleans Pelicans team? They've just been, I mean, if you blindly faded them this year, you're just sitting back and counting the money. 3-8 straight up, 2-9 ATS. They're 7-4 over under. They're 1-4 on the road. OKC is 9-2 straight up, 7-3-1 ATS, 6-5 over under, 5-1 at home. And granted, the Pelicans are playing way lower total games, but them being a little bit of an over team kind of does interest me. And the Thunder team total over would be my lean in this one here. That's kind of like my approach. If there's a big favorite I kind of like, and I don't want to lay the points, a team total is a great route. I think if you want to go with OKC in this game, I kind of want to take a look what that is. I don't know if I'll add it. But that would be my lean in this spot, would be taking Oklahoma team total over. Oklahoma City team total over, which is 119.5 minus 115, rather than ask them to cover to 14 points.
Fair. So we kind of you mentioned Pelicans not being good against the spread. They are the worst team against the spread in the NBA. They are 2-9. That's an 18% covering percentage. The other teams that are under 25% are Philly at 2-8 and Washington at 2-7. Can you tell me who the best team against the spread is?
Is it not Cleveland anymore?
Cleveland's 9-3. There's a team that's 9-2.
Golden State.
Golden State's 8-2.
We talked about them earlier. It's the Brooklyn Nets.
It is Brooklyn. Then Toronto at 8-3, and then Oklahoma City at 7-3-1.
Seeing Brooklyn and Toronto on the top there is something that I like to emphasize, and it's not worked for me in the NFL this year, but it's worked for me in other sports. Bad teams can be profitable.
Yep.
If you find the right ones, bad teams can be profitable. Unfortunately, in the NFL this year, when favorites are going 847-2 every week, it's impossible to find bad teams being profitable. But in past years, it's been pretty good. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Bad teams can be profitable if you bet them the right way. New Orleans is not that team, though.
No. That being said, I took the over in this game. Both teams playing towards overs. Thunder have been playing a little bit more up-tempo as of late, and Pelicans' defense is awful, so I'm going to be taking the over in this one.
Yeah, and by the way, a couple caveats to that as well. Just because Toronto and Brooklyn are covering earlier in the year now does not mean they're going to be covering later in the year. There's going to be plenty of times to bet against those teams as well. Because at the end of the day, they're still not good teams, but bad teams can be profitable too.
Yep. Yes, Nick, just take the money line. Kansas City don't need the points.
Yeah, but if I can get a full 3, then I'm fine.
Are there NBA cash cows? No, I don't really see NBA cash cows. There's situational spots that I like, but I don't see any cash cows per se. OKC lay it first quarter, first half, full game trifecta. I don't see why not. I'll be honest, I don't see why not. Pelicans plus 14.5. When you have Westbrook, you never win. He tricks teams into playing him late in games. Has the energy. When teams dare him to shoot it, he will choke and the team will lose. That's why he doesn't play late in games.
No, that's why you'll have Murray out there on the court.
Murray's always out there. Dude, you obviously don't watch games. You obviously don't pay attention to the Nuggets. All your numbers are wrong. But I know my team better than you do. So this is not – you're not going to win this one. He doesn't play late in games. If he does, it's the beginning of the fourth quarter. And then Murray comes back out and he sits. OKC to wreck my no lapels. See this every year the past 5 years. The Wiz Kids suck. It was up by almost 10 on Orlando last night. Checked. Yeah, they were down there. Yeah. The Wizards are not good. They're not going to be good for a while.
And they're not a team that's covering either.
No. Pelicans plus 725. I'm on an island. Go for it. Who's the best in the NBA?
Sorry. When I click off of
You're good.
Start coming.
I think my Road Warriors are against the spread, or Cleveland or Brooklyn. Brooklyn, then your Warriors, then Cleveland. But it's very close still. And there's plenty of time for the Golden State Warriors to regress a little bit.
I still think the Warriors are a playoff team, and there's should look
but I don't think they're as good as they are. Pelicans first half money line. First quarter, first half, full game for the Thunder. Pelicans have one player, Ingram, and the rest are injured.
Yeah, no, I never said New Orleans was one of those teams I want to bet. No, and there's some teams that, like I've been able to do that in hockey this year, where there's a couple teams that I say I don't want them regardless of the situation.
Correct.
The Pelicans and the Blazers are two teams like that in the NBA now for me. I don't want them regardless of the situation.
Correct. Read the comment right. He will trick the Nuggets into playing him late. No, they won't. Unless there's injuries.
Unless there's injuries, no.
No, he won't.
Because who do you want on the court, Murray or Westbrook?
Murray.
Exactly.
And they're the same player, but Murray's a lot better.
Yeah. Let's move on. We have the Philadelphia 76ers hosting the Cleveland Cavaliers. 10-point favorites are the Cavaliers in this game here. Total of 218.5. This line's moved, though. Line opened up at an 8, immediately went up to a 10, and it's now 9.5. But the 8 lasted all of 3 minutes. The 8.5 lasted all of 10 minutes, and then it was 9.5, and it's just been sitting there for a while. So early money came in, bet the Cavs up to 9.5, and the line's moved. The line's not moved since. Look at our opening line, 218 up to 219. I think this is the spot you want the 76ers, if anything, with no Embiid in the lineup. 52% of tickets, 54% cash on the Sixers. The line's really not moved. 92% of tickets, 94% cash is on the over in this one here. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers, who there's no way I can step in front of them money line wise, and I'm not going to take plus 360 with the Sixers here in the spot. But the Cavaliers are 12-0 this year, 9-3 ATS, 7-5 over under. 6-0 on the road. Now, when the Cavaliers start losing, we'll find good spots to bet against them, especially because of this run to start the year. There's going to be spots to bet against the Cavaliers coming up. And when you're getting really nice points, maybe they'll be at home against a bad team laying 16 points. That's when you fade them. Maybe laying 10 points on the road also is when you fade them too? Question mark. Except for the Philadelphia 76ers are 2-8 straight up in ATS, 5-5 over under, 1-4 on the road. All right, home. Am I wrong to want to take a shot here with the Sixers getting all the points in this game? I know it's a back-to-back for them.
Which means Embiid's not playing.
Which means Embiid's not playing because he's a little bitch and doesn't want to play back-to-backs ever. But, I mean, you want to make all the money, but you don't want to play the back-to-backs. Got to love the NBA. I can only look at the Sixers in this game.
I'm not going to touch this one. I'm not betting Cleveland. I think Cleveland wins, but not enough for me to want to lay 9.5, 10 points on the road. I don't like to lay 8+ points in general, especially not on the road. Especially when a Philadelphia team is coming off of losing by double digits at home to a rival last night. I think they could come out pissed in this one. But at the same time, with no Embiid playing, I just don't see the point in it. So
I want the Sixers more without Embiid, though.
Yes, but at the same time, you've seen. We can honestly come back tomorrow, and the Cleveland Cavaliers won by 30,
or they lost their first game of the year.
They're very realistic.
I don't know if I don't know if this game finishes by. Now, the more and more I think about it, this is either Cavaliers by 20+ or the Sixers outright. I don't think there's an in-between this game.
I really don't think so either, but not enough for me to want to. I already have a nice enough card, I feel like, for today with a couple of my plays, so I don't feel the real need to go after it.
Fair.
Sixers. Cavs minus 440. Okay. Now I hope the Cavs lose.
Now it makes me want to bet the Sixers more.
I like Cleveland, but pass. Joel Embiid is out. Won't play. Maxey out. Team is dreadful. Embiid out. He said he won't play back-to-backs. Yeah, only true MVPs play back-to-backs. Nikola Jokic is the true MVP. But either way, Cavs' first loss to Boston on Friday. I could see that. 218.5 over. Embiid not playing is a good thing. He's actually overrated. I agree. He is overrated. Depending on Embiid's playing. Embiid is not playing. Phony MVP clown Embiid when he's coming. When is he coming back? He was back last night. Dang. Does Curry play back-to-backs? Yes. It's mostly just Embiid who doesn't.
Yeah. 1 second. Just typing in one play here.
Actually, I did bet this game.
Let's get into it. We have the Milwaukee Bucks and the Detroit Pistons in this one here. The Bucks are 5.5-point favorites, total 216 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here. We have the Milwaukee Bucks. There we go. This line opened up at a 5.5. It's up to a 6. It's bouncing back and forth between 5.5 and 6. Line opened up 221. It immediately went to a 219.5. So the opening number, I guess you can call it 219.5, and now it's down to a 215.5. So a monster move towards this under in this one here, which I understand. The Pistons have been playing under basketball. The only reason why they didn't play an under last night was because overtime. So those overbettors last night got really lucky on that one, game getting the extra time. But it is what it is. 60% of tickets, 61% of cash is on the Bucks. The lines come from 5.5 to 6. 87% of tickets, 75% of cash on the over in this one as well. Let's take a look at the matchup for this one here, which I think does favor Milwaukee in this game. I think this is situationally a really good scheduling spot for them.
Why?
Milwaukee's coming in. They played last night too, but they were at home. They took care of business. They won by double digits against the Toronto Raptors. On the flip side, what did the Detroit Pistons do last night? They were at home. They traveled on a back-to-back off of an overtime game.
Yeah, but they went from Detroit to Milwaukee. It's not like they're traveling across the country.
Yeah, but what do you think was a tougher game to play? An overtime game against the Miami Heat where it's back and forth.
Did you see the end of that game?
No.
Overtime, Pistons were down 2 with 1.8 seconds to go. Pass in, lobs it for a dunk. 1.1 seconds left. Miami coach called a timeout. One problem. Has no timeouts. Technical foul. They make the shot. They win the game.
That's brutal.
So
not only do you have the Pistons off of a back-to-back and an overtime game, it was a win as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're coming in feeling good.
So is Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yeah, they took care of business. They won by 14, and I think that score is a little bit more. What about that? The fourth quarter is 18-18, so it was a 14-point game heading into the fourth quarter. So I don't think we saw. Giannis played 33 minutes last night, so it's not like he played what is his normal time. Brook Lopez did play 37 minutes. Other than that, it was pretty spread out. So it's not like they really did too much there.
No.
I think this is Milwaukee or nothing for me if I'm betting this game.
I'm already on the Pistons. And it's just the fact of both teams are on a back-to-back. Do you really trust the Milwaukee Bucks to lay points?
In this situation, yeah. I think they're starting.
I still don't.
I think they're starting to finally play a little bit better. They've won 2 of their last 4 games. But, yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, one's against Utah and Toronto. What's your point?
And where would you rank Detroit among Utah, Toronto, and Detroit?
Pistons are way better than both.
Way better?
Like, Pistons are...
on a neutral court, what are they against Toronto?
4-point favorites.
Really?
3, 4.
Okay.
And Jazz are like 5-6.
Okay. The Jazz are bad, yeah.
But I'm on the Pistons.
So that just tells me the Bucks win by 10 instead of 14.
I like the Pistons in this one. I think they keep it close. I'm not saying they win outright, but I see this as a one-possession game. Maybe overtime.
Fair. I think overtime would be the only way, and over cashes in this game a little bit too. That'd be my lean, but I don't want to add 215.
Some friends, these guys, wish Emma 446 loses, then get mad if they say they fade them. I won't get mad. Still no Maxey. Maxey out for weeks. Yes. Pistons money line. I like it. Hammy. Bucks lay it, but you're also a Bucks fan, so lean over. Greek Freak might sit. 5.5 and the under.
If Greek Freak sits, I'll take the Bucks.
Yeah.
Because that line will get down to a money line range for me. So I will keep an eye on that. If Giannis is out, I will be on the Bucks. I promise you that.
If Giannis is out and it goes down to a pick 'em, you're going to see both sides.
You're going to see a middle on the side.
You're going to see a middle, and I'll be done. And I'll be done with it.
Yep.
Although the Pistons will be part of the package. So
yeah.
Dort over 3s. 5.5's a trap. Not a trap. Giannis points might be the move here. Win for Detroit Lions Pistons. Bucks finally broke through and with a win a game. Yeah, I know I was against the Raptors. Confidence is back. Bucks minus 250. Pistons are scrappy. Who's going to stop? Cade and Ivy. Bucks, Spurs, Cavs, Thunder money line parlay plus 130. Dort over 3s. Cade Pra. If Giannis is out, canceled my bets.
Nope, can't do that.
It's not like he's a pitcher where he can play.
No.
List your pitcher.
Yeah. The only way you can do that is if he gets announced out, post an official play on the opposite side and eat the juice. There's no canceling plays because you can't. Because think about it this way also. And I'm sorry I keep getting into this with there. By the way, Markel, you said official play Cade Pra. I need how many PRA and what's the juice on it? Come on. You should know. But with this, then you would for this, you can't just go up to a sports book, bet the Bucks at minus 5.5, and then come up later and say, "Oh, Giannis is out. I'd like to cancel my bet." Doesn't work that way. Once you walk away from the kiosk, your bet's in. So. Let's move on, though. San Antonio Spurs and the Washington Wizards. The Spurs are 10-point favorites in this game, total 224.5. Now, do I want to lay double digits with the Spurs ever this year? The answer is no. Line opened up at an 8. It's up to a 10 now. Line opened up 223. It's up to 224.5. I want to take a look at the cash flow real quick in this game. 85% tickets, 84% of cash is on the Spurs. Are on the over, my bad, and 69% tickets, 79% of cash is on the Spurs, and the line's moving towards the Spurs at the very least. Now, I've done something with this Washington Wizards team the last few games that I kind of want to go back to, even though I believe it lost in its last game, if I remember right, because Houston did not put up the amount of points I needed. But this Washington team is 0-5 straight up in ATS the last 5 games. Since winning back-to-back games against Atlanta, that was the only winning and covering they've done all season long. On the flip side, the San Antonio Spurs, they're playing better. They've won 2 of their last 3 games. They've covered in 2 of their last 3 games. We were on them in the last game. We looked at that situation and said, how were we not on the Spurs against the Kings? And they win by 20. So I thought that was an awesome spot to back the Spurs last game. I would still lean Spurs in this game. I'm not laying double digits with them. So my only lean in this game, which might be a play for me, would be the Spurs team total over. Would be my lean in this one here. I like to continue to fade the Wizards with team total overs. Is kind of the way I would like to approach this. And team total over 117.5 minus 115. I'm going to make that an official play here. Spurs team total over 117.5 minus 115 for me.
I didn't touch this game. No reason for me to lay double digits on the Spurs. Just not something I wanted to necessarily get involved with. So I'll be boring and quick on this one because we're already an hour into the show and we still got a bunch of games to go. I'm passing on this game. I'll be honest, I have one play the rest of the NBA card in the next game.
Fair.
Nick, you said yesterday fade the team missing a star player on the second game.
First game.
Wizards.
No, you back them the first game. You fade them the second game. Yeah.
There you go. Wizards plus 10. Cade, Pra, minus 130. It's 38. Minus 120 is 38 plus.
Thank you.
Wizards plus 10. If they don't cover this, I'm done with them. Star under 1.5 blocks. Spurs money line official play. Spurs money line minus 440 official. Okay. Now I'm really hoping Washington wins. Let's keep rolling, Nick.
Yeah. Just starting that, and starting that. All right, cool. We have the Houston Rockets. They're 5-point favorites against the Los Angeles Clippers in this game here. The Clippers the total 213.5. Line opened up at a 4.5. It got up to a 5, and it's back down to a 4.5 now. So we've had no line movement. Actually, we've had 2 cents of line movement towards the Clippers from 110 to 112 for the plus 4.5. Line opened up 217.5. It's all the way down to a 213.5. So a 4-point line movement towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here, where we have 95% tickets, 94% cash on the over, and the line's dropping. We have 63% of tickets and 68% of cash on the Clippers, and the line's moving slightly towards them by 2 cents. 17% of tickets, 58% of cash on the money line for the Clippers as well. No surprise there, because usually when there's pretty decent-sized favorite, the dog has some sharp money on it. Does not mean the dog is always live in those situations. We are starting to see some 4s pop up potentially. So I do see potential value here with the Clippers. If you're looking at that there, they're 6-5 straight up, 6-4-1 ATS. They're 4-7 over under. They're 3-1 away from home. So they've been a decent road team so far this season. Houston Rockets are 7-4, 6-5 ATS, 4-7 over under. They're 4-2 at home. The Rockets are a team that I would rather take points with them at home than lay any type of number with them. Yes, I have laid numbers with the Rockets so far this year a couple times. The Clippers are a team I want as a dog. That would be the way for me to approach Clipper games. Is I only want them as a dog. These are 2 teams that I kind of only want as a dog. I've played the Rockets as a favorite a couple times this year. I've been okay with it, but for me, it would be Clippers or nothing. Dog or pass here for me.
How about an under?
That would be my lean as well.
I'm taking the under in this game, and it's going to be my last play that I bet today. This has been a Clipper team that's gone under in 3 out of their last 4. They played a high-scoring game against the Thunder in their last time out. Opposite side, Houston has been a very big under team. They've gone under 2 in a row and 7 out of 11 games so far this year. And they've scored 120 3 times this season. One of them had to be overtime. So neither of these teams are high-scoring teams. I think it's going to be the first one to 105 wins this game, if one of the teams reaches that. I see this one as a low-scoring game. I got the under, and I got it at 214. So under in this one.
Fair, yeah. I would look under or nothing in this game if I'm betting it.
There you go. Pass on Washington game. Both sucks. These dudes are evil. Wishing I lose. On a minus 440, yes. Under is official. I hope you win that one. Under in the Spurs game, I can lean that way. Rockets, I would lean the opposite way. Clippers plus 4.5. Clipper Nation. Clippers 2 public dog. Earle copied 446, of course, with the under. Check my balling out video last night. There you go. Suck my dick. Clippers team total over 104.5. Clippers plus 140. Triple up on the Clippers. Harden triple double. Wizards plus 360.
Wow.
You know what? I love the fact that you're taking big plus money.
See, I have way more respect for people taking plus 300 than minus 400s.
For sure.
Way more respect.
For sure.
Well, let's keep it going here. This is the we have 3 more games in the NBA before we get into the 5-game NHL card. Let's get into it. The LA Clippers and the Memphis Grizzlies. In this one here, the Lakers now down to 6.5. This line opened up at a 6.5, got up to a 7.5, back down to a 6.5. So we've had no line movement there on the side. Line opened up 231. It's now 231.5, so a half-point line movement towards the over here as well. Take a look at the cash flow in this one here. 56% of tickets, 58% of cash on the Lakers. Line's not moved. 86 and 86 on the over here as well. The Lakers, I believe they kind of slowed down after a nice start to the year. They're now 6-4 against the number. They are 6-4 straight up in ATS. And they become one of our favorite types of teams, Tim, in sports. They're predictable. They're a perfect 5-0 at Staples Center this year. They're 1-4 away from Staples Center. The Memphis Grizzlies are 7-4 straight up, 6-5 ATS, 7-4 over under, 3-2 on the road. The Lakers have not lost a home game this year. Is this the home game they lose? I don't think so. I would lean towards maybe a shot with the Lakers here in this one. I would lean towards maybe an over in this game as well. Maybe a Laker team total over then. But I would only look towards, if I'm playing, I'm laying, and I would probably look towards the over as well.
Nah. I'm not going to lay 7.5 points on the Lakers. I don't think I'm ever going to do that. They are coming off of 2 straight games that they covered a 7.5 and 10.5. So I'm not going to blame you if you do. But I don't feel like this is a Lakers team that I really want to do that with. Memphis on the opposite side has won 3 in a row, 5 out of 6. They're looking really good lately. After starting off the year 2-3, they're now 7-4. It's a Memphis team that I think is going to be quite solid this year, or at least I feel like they might be one of your playoff teams, one of your top 6. And I know that sounds crazy to say, like if you looked at it last year, but this has just been a team that's been getting the job done lately, and I think they continue to. So I would look towards the Grizzlies in this one. Is it enough for me to go after it? No. But
fair.
It's a look that way.
Yeah, this Lakers team is tricky for me, but I mean, when you're predictable, I kind of like betting into predictable teams a little bit. When you see a pretty stark difference between home and road,
yeah.
I would only look towards laying it with the Lakers, but not playing it.
That's fair. Okay then. Cash cow. I don't think there is cash cow spots. Grizzlies have averaged 130 points per game last 3. Give me the over 231. That's fine. Only because they're playing at home. I don't think there's cash cow spots. Austin Reeves over points. LeBron triple-double. Do people know the monster Zach Edey's on the Grizz team? He's playing well, not just a tall stiff. He is playing decent. I'm not going to take that away from him. But once again, I don't really feel the need to go after. NBA going to turn the magnets tonight for the Lakers. Wemby +4 blocks and Spurs over.
I see. That's a better way of going at it than taking just the Spurs money line.
Yeah. Lakers -6.5 and -10. OP Lake Show, baby. System plays instead of cash cows. And it's more of a back a team after they got blown out or something like that.
Yeah, I like backing good teams off of 30-point losses. It's kind of the way I like to do it as well. Bad teams off of 30-point losses, I pump the brakes a little bit, but I don't want to fade them type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've seen this matchup recently.
Last night.
I know. Portland Trailblazers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a huge test for the Timberwolves here. And I'm not saying that because the Portland Trailblazers are a good basketball team. You just lost to this team. If you are a legitimate contender or want to call yourself a legitimate contender in the NBA, blow these guys out by 20-plus points.
Should.
That's what you're supposed to do. After losing to this team as 10-point favorites yesterday, total 222 opened up at. Now it's at 220.5. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one, 56% ticket, 54% tickets, 56% cash on the Timberwolves to bounce back and take care of the Trailblazers here. 94% tickets, 93% cash is on the over in this one here. And looking at this spot, not only did Minnesota lose that game,
they got blown out.
They lost by double digits to the Portland Trailblazers there. And that was the Blazers. Now, granted, the Blazers, I think I've just picked the wrong spots to back them. They're 4-8 straight up, but they're 6-5-1 ATS.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been a winning ATS team, and I don't know why I've casted them off. It's just because when I bet them, things don't go right. But the times I don't bet them, those are when they win the games. And then which snapped a 3-game losing streak for the Portland Trailblazers. On the flip side, the Minnesota Timberwolves, back-to-back losses. You thought maybe yesterday was a bounce-back game because they lost to the Miami Heat the previous game as 7.5-point favorites. This is a team I want nothing to do with as a favorite, though, at all. Granted, if I'm playing anything in this game, maybe a first quarter or first half with the Timberwolves, expecting to come out early, pissed off that they just lost to this team. But do I trust this team to go out there and not only win but cover double digits? That answer is hell no. No, absolutely not. So until the Timberwolves can actually prove to me that they are a legitimate team, I get it. They had a nice little playoff run last year. I don't see it here.
Yeah, no, it's T-Wolves or nothing, and I'm going with nothing. I would love to try to go and back them after their blowout loss, but laying 9.5 points on the road, no, just not going to happen. Maybe an over in this game, but I don't feel the need to go after it. Same with the last game.
Sure.
Figures tonight, they're at home also over. I missed your response. Can we?
Yes.
Can we comment? Yes, you can. Wolves minus 9.5. What the hell is this deja vu? Wolves minus 9 system. I can see that. I'm not betting it personally. So they punted the game. They punted last game for this game. I don't really say they could punt. I don't think they punted. Blazers working for the NBA. Yeah, Nick, I have some issues with the Blazers. They do the opposite of what I want. Yeah. You guys were late, so 446 has to run now.
We were 3 minutes late, but okay.
Good luck unless you're against me. I hope you lose. Plus 9. If I'm playing, I'm laying. Pistons, Clippers, Lakers, plus 420 money line. Go for it. Final game in the NBA, Nick.
Yeah. We have the Sacramento Kings. They're 7.5-point favorites against the Phoenix Suns. That's a ridiculous line. There's got to be some type of injuries, right? Total 226 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. I need to make some sense of this game. Line opened up 6.5. It's up to a 7.5 now. So that line opened up high. And I don't think Sacramento is that much better than Phoenix. So there's got to be something that we're missing here, Tim. Or I have to take a look at injuries and stuff like that. Line opened up 228. It's down to 225.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow. 78% of tickets and 82% of the cash on the Suns. So it tells me that this line movement got to be something injury related because it's not cash flow related unless there's reverse line movement and the Kings blow them out tonight. 89% of tickets, 90% of cash is on the over in this game as well. We have the Phoenix Suns this year. They're 9-2. Granted, they're 4-7 ATS. They're 7-4 over under. They're 4-1 on the road. Granted, though, they don't need to win by margin in this game. They just need to keep it close. They don't need to win by margin. On the flip side, we have the Sacramento Kings, who are 6-5 straight up, 5-1 ATS, 5-6 over under, 2-2 at home. I need a little bit more clarity in this game, Tim, before I move on it. What are we looking at for this game?
No Durant.
Okay.
But he hasn't played since the 8th, so I don't know.
Then that doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand why it's like that. I'm personally staying off this game. Maybe the no Durant is why this line's such a wide spread. Because you can look at it. You also got that would make sense on why when we did the show yesterday, the Suns were only a 3.5-point favorite against the Jazz.
They're also on a back-to-back.
They're also on a back-to-back now. So it kind of makes sense. Anything I need to get involved with? No.
So, yeah, after all that's probably if I'm playing, I'm laying with the Kings, but I don't trust the Kings laying a number right now.
Pack revenge spot. Yes, but I'm not laying 9.5. They got blown out last night. I know. Kings minus 7. Phoenix, money line. Mini first quarter, first half. Suns 2 public dog. Tim's probably pass. Yeah. Lean NBA. Yeah. Lean over NBA tired legs. Suns plus 250. Zigzag effect. They lost on Sunday to the same team. There you go. Suns fade spot. Phoenix plus 8. Let's head to the NHL, Nick.
Yeah, let's go from the hardwood to the ice. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Detroit Red Wings in this game. The Penguins minus 140 favorites, total 6.5 in this game. The Penguins enter this game 6-9-2. on the year. They're 9-7, 1 over under. They're 3-4 at home at the Igloo there at PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
The Igloo.
The Igloo. On the flip side, the Detroit Red Wings, they're 6-7-1. They're 6-8 over under, and they're 3-3 away from the Pizza Box there in Detroit, Little Caesars Arena. There's some interesting names with some of these arenas, or nicknames for some of these arenas. This has been a series dominated by the Penguins, actually, the last couple of years. The Penguins have won 4 of the last 5 matchups, including it was the Penguins' first win of the season this year, 6-3 in Detroit. The Red Wings are coming in off of a loss as well. They're coming in off back-to-back losses against Toronto and New York. The Rangers, they controlled the play against the Rangers in that game, though. They got Jonathan Quick. They got goalie in that game. They outshot the Rangers 37-23. They outproduced them 3.62 to 2.61 for expected goals. So all things even in that game, the Red Wings win that game against the Rangers. Instead, Jonathan Quick has an amazing game, and they lose 4-0. On the flip side, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins coming in off of probably their most embarrassing game of the year, where they gave up 6 goals in the first period against the Dallas Stars. Now, with that being said, I never want the Penguins ever this year. I will promise you, I get it. I'm somebody where I'll bet on or against any team this year, any team. The Penguins are not one of those teams this year. I think they're an overvalued commodity, very similar to the Miami Marlins this year for baseball. I think the Pittsburgh Penguins are that team where they have playoff aspirations, and you got the names, and they're not a good hockey team. That being said, if I'm betting this game, the only way I would bet it is I would take the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first period, around -130 on DraftKings. That would be the only way I would do it, because what is John Sullivan going to be hammering into this team? What is Crosby and Malkin and Letang going to be hammering into this team? We got to get off to a better start this game. Got to play better. Got to get off to a better start. And I expect the Penguins to do that. And maybe that leads also, another question for this game is maybe it plays the under 6.5 in this game. Because what are these two teams going to want to hammer down on? The Red Wings gave up 4 goals last game. The Penguins gave up 7, 6 in the first period. Maybe they're going to want to hammer down that they want to play better defensive hockey in this game as well, and this game's an under in this spot, which I have not bet an under in a Pittsburgh game this year. I think this is the spot to do it, though. I have this game projected for 5.98 goals. And I get it. The Penguins are an over team this year. 9-7-1 to the over. The Wings are not as much of that. And maybe they want to hammer down that they want to get off to a better start and play better defensively, which everything lines up here. I don't bet these very often. Why not a first period under? And you're getting a good number on it here. First period under is +120 over on Bet365. So if I'm playing this game, I'd take a shot with Pittsburgh in the first period and the first period under. Those would be my 2 leads.
I'm doing the puck line. Give me Pittsburgh. Coming off that embarrassing loss, I think it's a bounce back spot for them. I know they're not a good team. I know I know that you don't like them this year. I bet them a couple times. I think they cashed me once. I just think this Detroit team is not as good as people think too.
Agreed.
I think this Detroit team is going to be mediocre this year. I don't think they make the playoffs. So I look at the Red Wings as meh too, so it makes sense. I got +177 with a puck line for the Penguins. It's one of my 2 plays for today. The other one is a +120 line, so a smaller line on it, but I liked one other spot.
I'm going to be stirring down these unders today, whether it's first period or full game, because I can see this game start slow and then pick up late, which makes me kind of want the first period under more. Plus, it's +120 for under 1.5. And you would think after a 6-0 first period that the first period under is probably worth the look. So that's where I'm going to look towards this game. I don't know if I'm going to bet it yet, but I would only look towards the under.
Sounds good.
All right. Where'd you leave off?
shows 12. So here.
Okay. Red Wings money line. I mean, yeah, I would love to fade. I would love to fade the Penguins. I don't want to do that because if there's one thing the Penguins do have is veteran leadership with Malkin, with Crosby, with Letang, and you would think this if they have any pride in this team that they show up at the first show up this game. That's why I'm not fading them this game. In the over 6.5, I lean unders. I really do, and I don't bet unders in the NHL very often. So we'll see. The NH Corral. What? Red Wings plus 1.5, only a lean. That's yeah. The pizza box, LOL. Detroit in the over. Yeah, pizza box. My Wings are trash. They're not great this year. Pens money line. Yeah, I would look towards that. Red Wings puck line. Going to the Capitals game live, hoping to be very profitable after. There you go. I like it. I would endorse the Penguins first period. Yes, first period under. Yes, and I don't want to have too many bets on this game, but I think if I'm betting on anything in this game, it's first period under, full game under, rather than first period money line for the Penguins in the first period under, because I don't want to play the thread the needle game. And really, that would just be then Detroit not to score in the first period. Maybe that's a play as well. But I don't trust the Penguins defensively enough to do that. So I don't know. We got to figure that out. Raymond, Kane, DeBrincat, Larkin, point parlay plus 177. There you go. It's easy to see a tide turn. A tide turns. All right, now I grew up in the desert. All right. Washington over 5.5 and Ovechkin anytime goal. And Washington and Ovechkin anytime goal. Washington puck line plus 170. There you go. Red Wings have been sneaky under recently for the overs to come back. Yeah. And the Penguins are not a team I'm really thrilled about taking unders with. But I feel like this is a spot where defensively they show up. I'm going to move on them here. I'm going to stop humming and hawing. I'm going to bet the first period in the full game under in Detroit, Pittsburgh. That's the way I'm going to do that. Let's move on. The Washington Capitals and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Capitals minus 125 favorites in this game. Total of 6 in this spot. Now, how much do we truly trust the Maple Leafs? Now, granted, they're coming off of a 3-0 loss, so maybe this is a spot where the Maple Leafs show up early after getting shut out. Oh, I know exactly what this play is. Never mind. What did the Maple Leafs do last night?
They got shut out.
They got shut out. So you know where we're going for this game here. We're gonna flip the script of the last game we just talked about, where I'm looking at unders. Actually, no unders in that game. I'm wrong. What did Detroit just come off of?
A shutout.
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to completely flip the script on that game. I totally forgot that the Red Wings were shut out in their previous game. So no, I will not be on unders in that game. I'll just take the full game over because that is something that overrides anything else. Is just taking overs with teams off of a shutout. So yeah, it's going to be overs to start the slate. That my bad. I can't believe that slipped by me there. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs coming in off of a 3-0 shutout loss against Ottawa in their last game there. And Washington's coming in off of a win. They won 8-1 against St. Louis. I don't want a team off of an 8-1 win ever. That's not a spot I want to back a team. This Capitals team has overachieved this year, I believe, but yeah, I do expect regression from them. But I'm tired of trying to bet into that. The Toronto Maple Leafs lost last night 3-0 to the Ottawa Senators, which snapped a 3-game winning streak there against Montreal, Detroit, and Boston. Their previous 3 games. These are 2 teams that I'm not very high on heading into the year. That I wanted that I took under point totals on both these teams. I feel more confident about the under in the Toronto team total than the Capitals win point total this year. But For me, it'll only be the over, and I'm getting over 6 at -120, and I'm getting over 6.5, -115 for the last game. Sorry, sorry that I completely flipped the script on you guys with that Pittsburgh game, but I forgot that the system play was in effect for that one there.
Yeah. This is the other play I got too. Toronto coming off of their big loss last night. Signed me up for the Toronto Maple Leafs today. I got +125 on CapperTek, so I thought that was a good number for it. I know we've been saying, oh, we expect Washington to regress and this and that. I do.
I'm tired of trying to bet this team to regress. I am.
But I'm going to be on Toronto here. I think that they bounced back after that ugly loss yesterday to Ottawa, who's arguably not a good team. And coming off the shutout, maybe even a team total over for Toronto. Give me the Maple Leafs here.
Yeah, I got over 6 -120.
By the way, that's all of the NHL plays I'll probably have for today, unless something else really stands out.
Fair. Caps money line, Washington Capitals money line under 6.5. First period over 1.5 there for Fernando. I believe he did say never mind on the under. Yeah, I didn't star that for you, so you're good there. Oh, I decided on the under in the Pens last game, and the Stars cooked that bird immediately. Yeah, over 6 -112. I never mind on the under. Yep. Caps team total over 3.5 +120. There you go. Surprised you forgot about that, Nick. That's exactly why I wanted over. See, my whole thought process was behind the Pittsburgh Penguins last game. It wasn't the Detroit Red Wings last game. That was my problem with that one there. Ovi goal, yeah. Ovechkin shots on goal, yeah. He's going to be just trying to shoot the puck as much as possible this year. It's definitely a trap game, though. The Leafs have dominated this matchup, but they are the underdog. Strange, right? No, they're on a second half of back-to-back. They're on the road, and the Capitals have been the better team so far this year. Doesn't shock me whatsoever. Dubois and Wilson and Strome assist. There we go. Let's keep it going here, where we have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Utah Coyotes in this one here. We have the Canes -190 favorites in this game, total of 6.5, depending on your book. It's either 6 juice towards the over, 6.5 juice towards the under, and this one there. The Canes are 11-3 this year. They're 6-7-1 over under. They're 6-2 away from PNC Arena there in Raleigh, North Carolina. On the flip side, the Utah Coyotes, they're 6-3 off. After a nice start, they've been very inconsistent lately. They are coming in off. Here we go. We have the first 3 games of the slate are teams coming in off of shutout losses. The Red Wings lost 4-0 to the Rangers. The Maple Leafs lost 3-0 to the Senators, and the Coyotes lost 4-0 to the Predators in their last game. It was the last game of a 4-game road trip. They lost 3 of the 4 games. They lost 4-0 in the last one there. And this is Carolina's last game of the road trip. They head home to play a back-to-back against Ottawa and St. Louis on the 16th and 17th November. So once again, this is another system play for me. Over 6 for me in this game is the way I'm going to approach it. Unfortunately, they're giving me 6.5 here. I'm going to probably just post a manual play for that there. But give me the over in this game as well. We have the Coyotes coming off the shutout loss. And I can get over 6 at -120 over on Bet365. So 3 straight games playing the over the total from the system play there in this one. 3 teams. First 3 games have 3 teams coming off of shutouts. So that's interesting there. So over 6 for me here in this game, -120 between Utah and Carolina.
So when I bet hockey, Nick, you know my plan of attack is to try to find some nice plus money. It would be Utah or nothing. Just because betting anything with Carolina, I don't feel like has any value on it without laying a decent chunk. Like plus 150, plus 130, 135. I know I took Toronto at plus 125 today. That's kind of like my bare minimum. but I don't feel like laying a puck line on the road with Carolina. It would be Utah or nothing at plus 170. I don't feel the need to get to this one, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk anybody off of the team total over for Carolina if you want to back them rather than a minus 190 or a puck line or anything like that. Here's what they've done the last few games. 5 goals against Vegas, 4 against Colorado, 5 against Pittsburgh, 6 against Philly, 4 against Washington, 8 against Boston, 4 against Vancouver, 4 against Seattle, and 4 against Calgary. 9 straight games of team total over 3.5.
Yep.
So if you've been riding it, yeah, I would definitely say keep riding those team total overs with the Carolina Hurricanes. Their offense has not fallen off one bit this year. They've been an over team, and their advanced metrics are exactly in line with this. Like, when you look at what their advanced metrics are, they're averaging 3.986 expected goals per game the last 10. So it's not like it's a fluky offense right now for the Carolina Hurricanes. They're averaging 4 expected goals as well. So I don't expect the scoring to disappear with Carolina at all. I am on the over in this game. And I kind of do lean Carolina team total over. If I'm backing the side at all, that would be the one I would lay with. My one concern, and we saw this a little while ago, and it didn't matter anything. It's the last game of a road trip for the Carolina Hurricanes. Last time that happened, they were in Vancouver, and they won 4-3 in overtime. So spots be damned with the Carolina Hurricanes, apparently. They're probably one of the best teams in the NHL, and I was wrong about them going under the point total. So they just don't stop winning. I would look towards a team total over with Carolina as well, but I'm on the over 6.
There you go. Back to the chat for your hockey.
Yeah. Let's see, Coyotes money line. There you go. Canes minus 1.5 plus 145. I thought they were called the Utah Hockey Club. Now they're the Coyotes. They're the hockey club, but until they switch their name to an actual name and not hockey club, I'm typing in Coyotes because fuck them. That's why. There you go. Team total over for Carolina. Carolina extendo minus 3.5. Over 6 minus 115. There you go. Carolina in the over plus over 5.5 plus 155. Carolina puck line plus 125. I love that Wings Pens first period under. I'm getting plus 118 on Caesars. I've noticed a decent bit of Wings games. We've started out super slow and defensive. Yeah. Unfortunately, teams off of a shutout loss, I think only 3 or 4 of those have gone on. I think actually it's 21-7 to the first period over. So I'd be careful with that. That's why I end up betting the over. I really like those unders, but I just follow the system in that one there. Aho, Svechnikov, and Natchez point parlay plus 104. Canes should be favored by minus 250. So Woll versus Thompson, you're going with Toronto. Okay, I took the over. I took the over 6. I think Tim took Toronto.
I took Toronto.
Let's keep it going. Colorado Avalanche and the LA Kings in this one here. Avalanche minus 130 favorites, total of 6 in this game. The Avalanche are coming in off of, I believe, an overtime win against Nashville, if I remember right, in their last game. Yep, they won 3-2. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. Now, their only loss, no shame in it, they lost 1-0 to Winnipeg. On the flip side, the LA Kings are coming off of a 3-1 loss against Calgary. Now that was in Calgary. Now they head to Colorado. That was a couple days. That was 2 days ago, that game. Same with Colorado. The Kings have kind of struggled against this Avalanche team. 7 of the last 10 have gone the way of the Colorado Avalanche. My numbers for this game, I do have the Avalanche as favorites in this one by having them around minus 125. So I think this number is about correct. The advanced metrics behind the Kings this year have not been bad. Defensively, they're really strong, only allowing 2.518 expected goals against. But they're producing 2.956. On the flip side, Colorado is a team I'm expecting offensively to be able to play better. 3.679 expected goals for the last 10 games. So overall, not enough value for me to, or not enough of an edge for me to move on either side or total in this game. I guess Colorado or nothing, and the over or nothing, but I'm not betting anything in this one.
Yeah, I'm happy with my card as it is, so I'm just gonna stick with the 2 I got. I was looking at maybe something for next game, but For this one, it would be Colorado puck line or nothing at plus 175. But I don't really trust the Avalanche right now. So
That's fair. I do have a play on the last game. I did a free pick video on the last game.
right on.
Screw the club phony team came back down to earth. Yeah. Avs puck line, Avs money line at minus 140. There you go. Drewski, if you want these plays tracked, I need juice. I need juice. McCarr 2 points at plus 144 as well. There you go. Let's move on to the last game of the night. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Anaheim Ducks. I need to see if I put this play up on my CapperTek last night, or if I need to do that. Okay, because I forgot to last night. Put it up on my CapperTek, but I did a free pick video on it, and let's get into it. We have the Anaheim Ducks taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are minus 195 road favorites, total 6.5 in this one here. Now, am I thrilled about fading the Vegas Golden Knights off of a loss? No, I'm not. But I'm also, my bad, not just a loss, but 2 losses in a row. They lost in overtime against Seattle. They lost against Carolina 5-2 in the last game. That was a little bit generous because it was 5-1 with about 30 seconds left. And Vegas scored to make it 5-2. Bad beat for anybody who had the under 6.5 in that game, which is why I can't back unders in the Vegas games. Because fluky shit happens. The Anaheim Ducks are coming off of a 4-2 win against the Columbus Blue Jackets, which snapped a 4-game losing streak. This Anaheim team is 5-7-2. They're 3-9-2 over under, and they're 3-4 at home. On the flip side, the Vegas Golden Knights are 9-4-2 this year. They're 12-3 of the over. They're 8-1 at home this year, but they're not at T-Mobile Arena. They're away from it, where they're 1-3-2 this year. They're 1-5 on the money line, playing away from Vegas. And they're laying $1.90 on the road here. Quack, quack. Give me the Ducks in this game. I got plus 160 last night with them. I think this line is too wide. We've seen in the past this Anaheim Ducks team likes to play the Vegas Golden Knights close. Now, granted, Vegas beat them in the first matchup this year. That was in Vegas. Vegas won 3-1. But you look previous to that, the Ducks had won 3 straight meetings against this Vegas Golden Knights team as plus 300, 303, plus 204, and plus 155 according to covers. So they've won against the Vegas Golden Knights the last few times. And wow, I'm glad I waited on it because it's now plus 193 on CapperTek. Give me the Ducks in this game. Quack, 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 quack. Ducks money line for me.
Good luck. I'm gonna stick to my guns at just having Toronto and Pittsburgh today.
That's a nerve-wracking card.
Oh no, it feels great. No, I love my card. But no, I don't need to feel to get involved in this one. Ducks or nothing, but pass.
Fair. The draw is a decent play as well. I saw Untouchable mention that in the chat. The draw, I kind of like that too. Avs and over 5.5, plus 188. Avs puck line, plus 170. There you go. Wofford Terriers, minus 3. I don't remember what we're on for that game.
I don't think we're on anything in that game.
If you want that track, give me juice. Ducks, money line, plus 190.
All spread plays are minus 110, unless they say otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, fine. I'll start at that then. Vegas Golden Knights puck line plus 128. BGK team total over 3.5 minus 105. Okay. The very shiny Knights. Anaheim plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 plus 195. There you go. System play Caps and Reg. Give me juice. Caps over 6. Canes money line. Vegas money line parlay plus 307. Anaheim draw. Theodore assist. There you go. And plus 193, you may have convinced me. There you go. But that is everything for today's card. But I guess CapperTek's in the chat, and then we'll wrap things up.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's make sure you guys check out all links in the description below. If you guys want the spreadsheet for all the college basketball, become a member of the YouTube channel, $5.99 a month. There's already a post out for it. So if you guys are interested in grabbing that, make sure you hop on that as well. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back again tomorrow. Peace out, guys.